So we'll go back up now and do everyone's favorite part. So your title, I vary very much on how I write my title. Sometimes it's a very obvious title that describes the thing. So if it's a red heart, I'll say red heart. Other times it can be a little bit more abstract, where I can call it love is great or something. So I'm not sure what works best with regards to your title. I prefer to go the route of being descriptive. I think once you're really well known on Redbubble and your stuff is being recommended outside, you can have whimsical titles that don't really describe your work, but can be more creative in the phrasing of that thing. But for now, I this is a brand new store. I'm a brand new, in Redbubble's eyes, I'm a brand new user. I'm an unknown. I'm just going to stick to what it is I'm actually selling here, which in this case is, it's a naff title, but it's a bit of a weird design. Isometric Techno Tower. So tags. So when it comes to tags, I am by no means an expert, and there are much better people to watch in terms of how they research tags, how they come up with different trending tags that they might want to jump on the back of. But unless I'm doing a trending design, like if I've discovered that politics is selling really well and it's a very good trend, I might want to try and find some buzzwords around politics that's going to help me rank for those keywords. But if it's a design that I designed it with an audience in mind, I'm going to tag to attract that audience. So for this design, I'm not trying to jump on any trends. I'm not trying to use keywords that are trending in order to get sales now. If anything, this is the kind of design that's directed to a demographic like myself. Probably was born in the 80s, grew up in the 90s and early 2000s. They remember what technology, culture, and art was like in that time. It brings nostalgia. So I'm going to use my audience that I'm targeting as a basis for the tags that I'm using, as opposed to researching trending tags, if that makes sense. I may have this all wrong, guys, but that's just how I tackle this. And it, like I say, it's always different. There's no one size fits all. I do a lot of trend hopping, especially if it's something that I can get on board with. If it's something I'm really interested in, I'll be like, I'm sure I can make a design that people will like right now. And in that case, I'll use my tags differently. Long form keywords are pretty good, and I would recommend using them where relevant, because you're not only hitting that as one keyword, electronic music, you're also hitting them as separate keywords, electronic and music. So really, I don't need house music. I could just put house because music is already technically its own keyword. But I don't have, intimate knowledge of the algorithm. So just in case, I'll do house music as well as electronic music. I don't always put colors, but some people search specifically for colors, especially if they're looking for something that maybe matches another thing that they want this to go with, if that makes sense. So if there's only a few colors, I will tend to tag my colors as well. And then start thinking about, okay, what is my design? Well, it's not just a text design, it's a typographic design. Think about how different people would word things in a search and try and hit not every possibility, but the obvious possibilities. And then you've also got to try and think of the art style. So I think this art style is very reminiscent of kind of synthwave and retro wave aesthetic. So use that as well. Always think about your art style, whether it's just, a little picture of a bunny, use playful as an art style, because some people will search for art styles as opposed to an actual thing. They'll look at vintage, they'll look at retro. So those are all art styles in and of themselves as well. Okay, so there's many schools of thoughts on how many keywords to have. And when I was contacted by a guy who worked at Redbubble, who gave me a few hints and tips, as can be seen in one of my older videos, I'll try and link it up above. He told me that even though you can do 50 keywords, it's better to do between 20 and 25 relevant keywords. So don't try and fill 50 keywords if they're not relevant. I mean, if you have 30 relevant keywords, then that's great too, but make sure you're not going into the realms of just tagging for tagging's sake, just to fill up those 50 slots. Right now we have we got 25 keywords, so I think we're done. I can't think of anything else that I might have missed. Okay, so one of my old Redbubble videos, and this is still the case, guys, so make sure that you're doing this, is writing a good description of your work, because while the tags are important for people when they're on Redbubble and they're searching directly on Redbubble to find your work, your description is what is being fed into Google SEO. So a lot of people might find your work based on a search term that they've written in Google that directs them to your work here. So it's a very, very powerful place to get your keywords in and to describe your work, to bring people externally into Redbubble. Whereas your tags are purely for those people already on the site. And we know already that Redbubble do excellent. They pay a lot of money to do advertising outside of Redbubble itself. So, they're giving us the tools and the ways to get our stuff seen outside of the site. They want to make money too. So use the stuff that we have at our disposal to make sure that we can get an audience. So this is a place where you describe, a couple of sentences. Don't go too crazy on your description. Keep it relevant. Describe your work as if you're trying to tell someone what it is without them being able to see it in front of them. I'm not saying it's easy, guys, but do it. Let me just have a think about this. I might come back to that. But for now, we've hit retro, 80s and 90s, techno. Maybe we'll put techno music. And I think we are done, guys. So we've filled in all of that, and now we want to save our work. So here we go. So if we want to promote our work at this stage, we can use any of these mockups, but it's also good to have a look at stuff that you didn't actually get to have an eyeball. So I just always have a quick look to see how certain things appeared. So our metal prints, canvas prints, and framed art prints will always be square because that is the dimensions that my art was in. So if I'd made a rectangular design, it would be printed rectangular. So those are the ones that you need to be aware of. But postcard will always be rectangular, and this is when I was saying you get this black box if I'd kept the black background, which we don't want. So there's a couple more things I want to cover before I end this video. One is the markups of all of my designs, and to protect my work. I've done that already. So you want to make sure that you watermark your images. Redbubble has made it harder for people to download high-res versions of your images from the site, which is really good. So, but of course people always find a way. So I've put a tiled watermark across. And we're going to go into pricing. I'm going to mark up to 30% to everything. Now, this is what I have marked up on my current shop, and I haven't seen any problem with it per se. Certain things that are already quite expensive, I will take a lower cut of. So if you take a look down here, 31, I mean, psychologically, obviously I'm looking at things in pounds. People are much more likely to buy something that's £29 than 31. So in this instance, we're going to drop this down until we get we go. 24% makes it $29.96. Psychologically, it works a lot better. So we're going to go down and see A-line dress. They're really quite pricey. I'm happy to drop that to 20 because I don't sell enough anyway to justify taking a bigger cut. And we want to give ourselves at least a bit of a chance. Same with leggings. We'll just keep that as the standard 20%. Okay, stickers are where things get interesting. We're going to go all the way up to 150%. I used to think that was crazy until I did it myself and I saw I was, if anything, getting more sticker sales by having it marked up so high. So I would encourage, some people even go up to 200%. I would encourage going between 100 and 200%, whatever you're comfortable with, and see what happens. iPhone wallet, again, let's take it below the £30 and we'll say 25%, 29.29 sounds a lot better. Canvas print, let's leave that at 20%. Floor pillow, I'll drop to 20% as well. Shower curtain. Yeah, I'll still make just under £7 on a sale, so that doesn't really bother me too much. Comforter, let's go down to say 27. Backpack, I'll go down to 20. Duffel, I'll go down to 20. But just play it by ear. Experiment a little bit, bring things down, take things up, and see if you notice any changes. But keep it quite fluid. Try and review your pricing where you can. So I'm going to save that. And obviously the next thing is linking to my Google Analytics. Now, I'm not going to do that on video, but if you do want a tutorial on how to do that, let me know and I'll show you. It's pretty simple. Learning how to read the analytics is another mission all in itself. But there are existing tutorials that you can find with how to link your Google Analytics. It's really easy to set up. The hard part, like I said, comes in how to decipher the data that you're seeing and use it to inform the decisions you make on your shop. Message to buyer. Now, this is a little message that will appear every time someone buys something, and I always recommend you do it because it makes things a little bit more personalized. So I'm just going to say, thank you for your support. I hope keep it simple. Save that message. That'll go out every time I make a sale. And there you have it. That's pretty much all I wanted to cover in building your store. If I've missed anything, let me know. And if there's anything you want me to go over, like I said, with Google Analytics or anything else, let me know as well. I'll be happy to show you how I work with analytics. So there we have it, guys. We're finally live. It's taken me far too long, but there we go. So I think that's all I'm going to do on video for now. I think off camera, I'll probably upload at least another 10 designs. So yes, I hope that was useful, guys. And if I gave you any tips as I was doing that, even better. We'll see how this progresses in the future, and I'll be happy to share the progress on how this new shop is going. So I hope you enjoyed that, guys, and I'll see you very soon. So there we have it, guys. Our shop is finally live. Since the recording of that footage, I've now put about another 4 or 5 designs up. You can go on there right now and have a look, see what tags I've used, all that good stuff. Let me know if you have any advice, any comments, any feedback, and we'll take it from there. I'm really looking forward to researching designs with you guys, making designs, putting new stuff on. We'll go through promoting the store and all of that kind of stuff. So I'm really excited for this series. And as always, let me know what you think in the comments, and I'll look forward to seeing you soon.